Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuning into the Positive Deposit Podcast. I am your host, Presley Nelson Jr., and I'm so excited, to have my guest on today. Um, for you guys that are just listening for the first time, Positive Deposits supports cancer survivors through many attributes and many ways. And when you're tuning into the podcast, this is where survivors have come step up and talk about their journey, not only while they were going through cancer, but the things that they're doing during their survivorship. And so today I have a special guest, Dr. Eddie Connor. Now, man, when I saw his bio, I was just like, man, this is a man that not only beat cancer, but has written several books, 11 to be exact. He actually helped my president, Barack Obama, with the My Brother's Keeper initiative. He has many accolades, awards, such as the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award. He's also been a recipient of the Barack Obama Volunteer Service Award and the Barack Obama Lifetime Achievement Award. He's been recognized as the top 35 millennials in America, and he's been all over on ABC, BET, CBS, wherever there's television, he's been there, and I'm not surprised because of the dope work that he has done. And so without further ado, we have Dr. Eddie Connor. Man, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Brother Presley, man, great to be on with you. Great to be on with you. Appreciate the raving introduction, man.
Hey, that's all you, brother. That's God's work. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, how are you living, man? How's this COVID like treating you? You're in Detroit. What is COVID like in Detroit?
We've been getting hit, man. I've had a number of friends and loved ones pass from the disease, for the virus rather, there have been some great breakthroughs. When you think about COVID affecting Black people disproportionately at a disproportionate rate, speaks to the health inequities. As Dr. King said, the lack of access in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane. It's a racial aspect to that. So to see that, but also see some breakthroughs, people coming together in communities, people launching out and building businesses. For me, trying to channel my vision and change some things. And I had to pivot my conference. I had to do a virtual conference, just happened this past Friday and Saturday, to now I grew out my hair, new hair, who this?
Oh,
so,
okay.
It's been all new everything. And I don't think normal is behind us. I think normal is ahead of us.
Yeah. And it has been different. I'm in DC, I'm in Maryland, but we the mayor, governor of Maryland has really been, really keeping us safe. It's good. We have to wear our mask. That's mandatory, but it is a new norm. I'm used to summertime day parties, things of that nature, and I know Miami and Texas, they've been doing their thing, but you see what has happened because of that. And but in DC, Maryland, it's different, but it is the new norm, and until they have vaccines, we have to adjust. And I think that even now, being on digital platforms like this, you had to do a virtual conference. Now, that's the new wave, and so now I'm glad you're surviving. My condolences to those that you have lost, but we're gonna keep on pushing. And so I'm so glad you are able to come on the show, man. And I want to talk to you because one thing about Positive Deposits, we have a platform called Courageous Conversations, and with that is just having this platform to allow cancer survivors to take that load off their chest, or just spread the knowledge about what most people don't understand, what it is to sit in the shoes of a cancer survivor. Now, I see that you're a survivor of stage 4. Is that lymphoma?
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Non-Hodgkin's. Yeah. So talk to us about that. What was going on during that time that you found out? How old were you? Where were you at when you found out you were diagnosed?
Yes, and I got to say thank you for this opportunity on this platform to be able to speak truth to power, illuminate our voices, especially on topics like these. and brother to brother, man to
Yeah.
man, you know,
Yeah.
especially as Black men, when we don't talk necessarily about the struggles that we face and have a safe space or place to be able to do it. So I got to commend you on, as the shirt says, showing love.
Yes.
So
No doubt. No doubt.
absolutely. You know, 2020 marks 20 years of me being cancer free. I was just a teenager. Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I don't look like what I've been through. And I really believe your test of testimony, and God used your setback as set up for your greatest comeback.
Yeah.
To be in high school and to be diagnosed, you know, when you identity means everything, and having these chest pains and not knowing what was going on, you know, as men, or as boys even, pain is weakness leaving the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, you fall off a bike at the age of 4, somebody kicks you and the bike, stand up, be a man. No, I'm 4, not 44. Show me what to do.
Get back on that bike.
Right, get back on that bike. No training wheels either.
No.
So the training wheels of life, to a certain degree, had come off me. My parents had divorced, and I was, you know, kind of angry and didn't even know why.
Yeah.
I'm having these chest pains watching a football game over my friend's house. I remember saying like George Floyd or Eric Garner for a different reason. I said for 3 words, I can't breathe. And I literally felt like something was choking me, something was stabbing me in my chest.
Yeah.
And doctors do a CT scan on the chest. They take me into the ICU and get an X-ray, and they see, as they cut me open, my cells are growing so fast they can see them growing with the naked eye around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus.
Wow.
And I use my voice for a living, and that's where the tumor was growing, around my vocal cords. And so I felt great coming out of surgery. The doctor says, Eddie, we have a diagnosis for you. You have what we call NHL. I'm like, I'm getting ready to be the youngest on the National Hockey League team. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like the sport. He says, no, you've been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm like, Doc, my first language is Ebonics. I'm still trying to learn English. What do you mean?
Right.
He says, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, stage 4 cancer. And I find out that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is an attack on the lymphatic system, where it brings blood flow throughout the body. And so to be going through that, chemo, radiation, 5 days a week, something you wouldn't even wish on your worst enemy. You know, people who I thought were praying for me were literally praying on me. Sitting on the sideline expecting my demise. My own biological father never visited me one day in the hospital, but to have a praying mother, you know, to believe that God can bring me out and to live through dying places and find the can in cancer.
Yeah.
That's nothing but the grace of God. So
wow. So what age, how old were you in high school when they told you?
I was what, 15?
15. Yeah. So as a 15-year-old, what was going in through your mind? Because obviously it wasn't hockey, you know, but
no,
like,
right.
But what was going on in your mind, like mentally, as a 15-year-old, probably a sophomore in high school?
Yeah, sophomore,
like, what was that feeling? Like, what were you feeling? What, like, how did you feel when they told you this weird diagnosis, which you're like, I'm still trying to learn biology and all these other things, but they tell you this?
Yeah, you know, to be fighting for my life when I'm just beginning my life. You know, when you told that you have cancer, it's a death sentence, especially stage 4.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of depression. And I remember the doctor said to me, he said, don't ask why. I'm like, right after you tell me my diagnosis, that's what you want to tell me? Don't ask why?
Wow. Wow.
You know, I was like, it's just so insensitive at that time. And then to be dealing with how I felt in many cases, a lot of times I was mistreated by nurses and who would treat other white patients better than me. And then you stop seeing certain patients coming in, and, you know, they had made a transition and they had passed on. So I thought it was over for me.
Wow.
You know, I'm like, you know, you're not supposed to get cancer till you're 60, 70, 80 years of age. I'm like, why is this happening to me now?
Right.
That's the first question I asked. Why me?
Why me? Why me?
You know?
Yeah.
So dealing with your own mortality is life changing, you know, as you know as well, you know, to be in this place where something you go through like that, you wouldn't even wish it on anybody else. And
I concur with you, not as a 15-year-old, but a 29-year-old approaching 30. And, you know, my grandmother and my aunt, they both passed of cancer. So that's the first experience with cancer. But for me, I'm about to turn 30. You're like, you know, you're approaching a milestone, and, you know, I was already out of college and things were going well, but, you know, to get that gut punch, You see what I'm saying? That gut punch and all the stuff that I was watching on Grey's Anatomy, like, you know, cancer mass, now it's happening to me. It's a shocker, you know, because you would never think you, out of all people, would deal with this 6-letter word. And so I can only imagine you as a 15-year-old, you know, getting this news. That's heavy news. That's real heavy news, especially with stage 4. What was your treatment like? You know, like how many did you have to do radiation? Did you have to do chemotherapy? How was your treatment and throughout that journey?
Yeah, I mean, it was rigorous treatment. I mean, I felt like I was getting pumped with poison so much in my veins that they were going to explode.
Wow.
And I don't have the greatest veins. They got to use like a butterfly clip. And so to be having a nurse sometimes needling inside of you and all that jazz is very, very difficult. But I mean, it was aggressive form. I mean, I had chemo and radiation.
Wow.
I was getting chemo even 5 days a week, was totally sick. Yeah, 5 days a week. It was an aggressive form. I mean, when they cut me open, the doctors could see the cells growing with the naked eye. And I mean, I was literally at death's door. And I was so sick. I mean, I was getting spinal taps as well.
Yeah.
Then you're on this medication, which increases weight gain.
Yeah.
So then all my hair fell out.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'd be walking. I actually, this quick story, Kobe Bryant actually when he was wearing the number 8 at this time, playing for the Lakers first year or two, signed a cap for me from I think it was Make-A-Wish, or I still got the cap to this day. Caps for kids, actually. He signed a cap for me, wrote me a little keep your head up type thing, and signed his name. And I remember wearing that hat or a few other hats, and people just, when they saw me out in public, just kind of just turn their head and like, this brother looks bad.
Right. And well, shout out to Kobe, RIP to the Mamba, but
RIP,
still,
sure.
like you said that, your hair fell out, it was aggressive. I can only imagine as a young man, in the world that we live in, to where the confidence is a thing, like especially in high school. What other side effects? So you lost your hair. What other side effects were due to the radiation or the chemotherapy?
Well, the nausea. I mean, the persistent nausea, the whole lethargy. I was just tired all the time, and it was the woe is me. I mean, to actually even think about depression leading to suicide, to where you even contemplate taking your own life before cancer does it.
Wow. To
see my own self emaciating before my own eyes. I remember first time my hair fell out, and I remember the doctors were saying, your hair, you might lose your hair. First 2 weeks of the bout, 3 weeks, like, my hair is still there.
Right.
Like, it's not going to affect me. I'm not feeling the greatest.
Right.
And I think it was like week 3 or week 4. I wake up and I always wear the wave cap. You know how we do.
Yeah, you gotta try to get the waves. You know what I mean?
I was still trying to keep my waves. I was like, hey, you know what? I might be struggling right now, but I'm gonna look good doing it.
Right.
I mean? I woke up one morning and just rubbing my hair a little bit. I'm like, just let's see, some hair follicles on my pillow. What?
Yeah.
I run into the bathroom.
Yeah.
I take the thing off, and clumps of hair literally in my hands in the wave cap. I mean, I could probably count maybe 1 or 2 times I've cried like a river.
Yeah.
I probably screamed. My mother could just hear me just bellowing. She came in and just hugged me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was it was a earth-shaking moment right there.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I'm really in this fight now.
Man, you talk about your mom, and before I get into that, your support system, and having that support system, if obviously your mom was there, and did you have any other support from friends and family? Like how was that? Because I know support is everything. Support is the thing that can make or break, what brothers like us have gone through. And so outside of your mom, who else was your support system?
You know, my grandparents, of course, were there. My father being absent was very, very tough and difficult. And all I had was my mother. I mean, my mother's a 30-year retired educator. She
Okay.
would be coming home during her lunch break and just making sure that everything was fine. And, you know, just whether it's playing healing tapes at my bedside, of just telling me, you know what, everybody gets knocked down, but a knockdown is not a knockout unless you stay down. You know, just giving
That's
me that
powerful.
motivation, that inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get back up again. And you know, without her, no way, shape, or form would I have made it, because I wanted to give up. She told me I wasn't leaving. It
Wow.
was a mother's love that made me live through what I wanted to give up
A
over,
mother's love, man. It's strong.
without a doubt.
Especially a
Strong,
praying mother.
strong.
Especially a
Praying mama.
praying
Yeah,
mother.
praying mama.
I love
Yeah.
that. Were there times during that where you wish your dad would come and comfort you and be there with you through this fight?
There were times, but I kind of just kind of blocked out the pain, because a lot of people really didn't even think that I was going to make it. A lot of people had written my obituary.
Wow.
You know, people, I mean, I remember I even had a little girlfriend at that time, and I couldn't find her in the daytime with a flashlight.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and when you're going through cancer, especially when I was doing it, what, 19, 20 years ago,
yeah,
still everybody didn't really know, is it catchable through the air? Is it, you know,
yeah,
is it like
yeah,
leprosy?
yeah,
So, you know, to a certain degree, they just vanished. And it's just me, God, my mama. That's it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you talk about a lonely time. You know, people are worried about quarantine. Listen, I know what it's like to be quarantined. I know what it's like to be all alone. Know what it's
yeah,
like to have nobody to call on you
yeah.
or to help you. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Right, right. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that about like COVID. Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
But we've been doing 6 feet, washing our hands, making sure that we taking care of our immune systems
Right.
way before this has transpired. And I don't know why, man. Like when people hear that you have cancer or you're a survivor, like is it contagious like the chicken pox, or
Right.
like can I get it? Can if you cough on me wrong, will I get it? And they don't realize like it doesn't spread like that, like. And it's a funny story. I was dating a chick at the time back when I first got diagnosed, and I not after I got diagnosed, but she literally, once I told her, because at first, the first time I got diagnosed and I was survived it, thank God. You don't share it as much. You see what I'm saying? Like and when I
Yeah.
sprinkled that and was finally confident about just being a survivor, she just slowly did the Homer Simpson into the
Wow.
bushes. You see what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I was just like, I just felt like, dang, like is it really that bad? Is this what people think cancer is? Like that it's gonna spread or pass on, But I have a beautiful baby girl right now who's very healthy. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
That's a
that's
blessing, man. That's a
it's a
blessing.
blessing. It's a blessing. So
Congratulations.
oh, thank you, thank you. So when you did radiation, I know I didn't have to do radiation. I
Oh,
did.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I had
Praise God
stage
for that.
4, and I had to take 12 cycles of AVBD. And yeah, I didn't have to do radiation. And mind you, um, it was in both sides of my chest, my liver, and
Mm.
spleen. So
Oh,
those are the
wow.
4 spots that it was. And I was not getting the nutrients, because the liver and that's what carries your nutrients. So I was losing weight like rapidly, and so I didn't have to get radiation. So I can only imagine you as maybe 15 getting radiation. Were there side effects just as like chemo with radiation, or is it? I mean, talk to us. What is radiation
Yeah.
like? Like outside of what I think is they put a little thing on your chest and then what like walk for people that don't know what
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
radiation therapy.
Man, it is literally poison that they're pumping into your body. I actually have actually have some scars on my chest because I had the data port that they put
Mm,
into my skin, underneath the skin.
yeah, the port.
They were
Yep.
pumping, yeah, the port. Yeah, that's for the chemo because it really is not able to just go through the veins
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. They really have to just inject that. But the radiation is like some type of sensor that they're putting right here in the middle of the chest, and they're really just trying to just hit the cancer cells just to destroy them.
Wow.
So they're literally having to pump poison and all types of other treatment into your body just to eradicate the bad cells. Because that's really all cancer is just cells that, are not breaking down. Cells supposed to live and die. The cells that are not dying, they're clumping together, and it's creating a tumor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for you to not have to, get radiation, brother, man, that's a blessing for sure.
Bro, it was a blessing both times because so just to kind of share, and I shared this with you, that I had large B-cell lymphoma. And so large B-cell lymphoma is when the mass grows at a rate to 60 to 70%. And if you don't get rigorous treatment, and this was R-CHOP chemotherapy, because there's so many different chemotherapies, but R-CHOP is one of the most aggressive chemotherapies they have. And so I had to get that ASAP, and it's so potent, you got to take it once every 3 weeks. You can't take, because you said 5, you have to take it so much, but I could probably understand as a young man how your body is. It may need to do more, but maybe you didn't need more, who knows? But for me, they thought I needed radiation afterwards. Thank God, and I'm gonna tell anybody that's listening, make sure you are knowledgeable about your diagnosis. Make sure you're being inquisitive when asking these questions, because these doctors will just tell you to do this and do that. And if you don't know, you can fall victim of getting some treatment that you don't need. Point and example and point is, I just left the oncologist, and my doctor said, hey, you're looking good. Just keep on going with your treatment. The radiologist wanted to see me. I go to the radiologist. The radiologist lied and said, hey, yes, he said, we need to get you radiation. This is very aggressive. We need to treat you. I said to the doctor, and I'm like, well, I just left the doctor's office and he didn't say nothing about radiation. No, I talked to your doctor. And so when that's where I was just like, you just trying to get a check, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And wow. He was of African descent, and he was so adamant. 2 weeks later, brother, I lie to you not, my oncologist called me. He said, yo, I'm so glad that you did not get radiation started, conform to it. There was an article that came out that about my diagnoses. If I would have got radiation, I would have had heart damage.
Oh my goodness.
What? So it's very important that you understand your diagnoses. Don't ever just say, okay, it's whatever. The doctor, and to what you said earlier, they do, they judge you. They look at you like, all right, just another number, another patient. And sometimes you do get less treatment than the other people, other white folks. They're like, that's real. And so, so now let's transition. So you graduated high school, you went to college, and you kind of pursued, the education piece. Like, how was survivorship after, going through what you went through, man?
Survivorship was a daunting task, to say the least. I really didn't even want to share it with anybody about what I had gone through.
Wow.
It's, the stigma regarding it and surrounding it was definitely difficult. I remember even my guidance counselor told me, you're not going to go to college. Don't even think about community college, pick up a trade. My favorite 2 classes in school were gym and lunch. One chasing girls in gym, sit down to eat with them at lunch. But I mean, beating cancer and then being told, especially I was on the homebound program. I couldn't even attend school for about a year. And so catching up on classes and still being able to graduate with my class on time was a blessing. And then getting a $5,000 scholarship from an anonymous donor. Still to this day, I don't know who it was.
Wow. Thank you for the blessing.
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you again. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you. Appreciate who you are. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate who you are.
Right.
So to then go to college and, go into education, say, all right, I want to give back to the next generation.
Yeah.
And I just began sharing my story. I connected with the American Cancer Society, connected with other cancer organizations, was speaking out on campus about overcoming obstacles and even letting people know, hey, you know what? Yeah, I've been through this. And people, shocked and surprised, I'm sure, as well as you share your story.
Oh, man.
That we beat the odds. We don't look like what we've been through.
Trust, I don't look like I'm about to be 38 in 2 months, brother. So
no, not at all, brother. I need a card. You give me some ID. Black don't crack.
It don't. Yeah. So it's amazing that you turn something that is looked down upon into testimony and blessings to encourage. You can beat the odds and obstacles. And so, you host a conference, the Vision Summit. What is that? What is the Vision Summit? And was that something that you created through overcoming this and overcoming college and things of that nature? What is the Vision Summit?
Yeah, I wrote the book is actually, the Vision Summit is actually based on a book. I wrote a book that released earlier this year called 2020 Vision, How to See Beyond What You See and Transform Your Reality. Little did I know we would be kind of living through what I was writing about, having to forsake the familiar. And I wrote my first book literally in college with a dollar and a dream to my name in a dorm room. Yeah. And out of all the books that I've written, this conference was birthed out of that, focusing on education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship, really giving redress to many of the inequities and the issues that us as Black people especially are dealing with in our communities, but also just anybody who has a vision, trying to merge that together, moving from furlough to financial stability, delving into the community, ministry, media, marketplace, all of those specific ancillary aspects, and not just having a segment, but bringing it all together at once. And so we had authors, we had entrepreneurs, we had film producers, we had ministers, we had community developers. We had about 20 speakers in 2 days. Wow. So it was a rather daunting task to pivot because we had it in a physical location. We were inviting everybody to Detroit, and then now to have to move it to a different platform. And that's really what it takes is vision. Yeah. Vision is not for life when it's comfortable. Vision is needed and necessary when life is most uncomfortable. And so, that's where it is. And
see, that's the blessing of cancer. That's how I see it, is that after we defeat this thing called death, this thing that is the most hated blind date ever, Ooh. Yeah, that's in my book. You'll read about that. It's a blind date from hell, We're able to do dope things like a Vision Summit, I'm starting a nonprofit that helps support cancer survivors of all walks, you'll be able to be with the president, the best president, you see what I'm saying? Yes. And be able to, share that vision and inspiration to brothers. And I think that we're superheroes, man. We are superheroes. Wow. That people look down upon sometimes because they're afraid of it. But with accolades and achievements such as what you've done, brother, I commend you for pushing through. You know what I mean? Where'd you go to school, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I went to Eastern Michigan University, then Marygrove, back to doing some work with EMU again, and then went to seminary as well. And so
seminary, like are you a preacher?
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. hey, okay.
Yeah. I just had a virtual preaching engagement this past Sunday.
Wow. So, do you preach at a church?
Yeah, I preach at my local church, but also preach around other churches that I'm invited to. And I'm always interweaving, how God brought healing and deliverance to me through cancer, through overcoming that cancer. Your testimony and, what scriptures say, we overcame by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of our testimony. So, being able to put the blood on it and the word as well, man, is a blessing.
I don't know. You might have to be positive deposits chaplain, brother. I might, hey, we need prayer is strong, man. I mean, absolutely. Like, so I'm gonna be tapping on you like, hey, we need you. You know, we would love for you to not only bless us, but also, you know, have a word.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Okay, all right. I love it. I love it, and I'm glad that you, you know, have a strong sense of faith. Now, let's talk about faith. Was your faith? How was your faith coming up? You know what I mean? Like, did it get stronger? You know, because of cancer, or you know, your mom kind of introduced you to the Lord, and you know, and especially prayer. Like, how's your faith gotten even more stronger since, you know, like you were, you know, you went through and finished up and
Totally stronger. You know, as much as my mother helped me to overcome cancer, I actually had to fight it, you know, by myself and with God, and dig into, you know, the faith and the power that he placed on the inside of me. I remember being in church and, you know, being a minister's kid and listening during testimony service. You see them old mothers get up. I want to thank and praise the Lord because he's been good to me, da, 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 da. And I remember sitting in the pews in the back. I'm like, you know, and I'm looking at the finest girls still. You know, I mean, I remember sitting in the pews in the back. I'm like, I don't have no testimony other than, you know, I got clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, food on the table. I said, okay, I woke up today. That's a blessing. That's a testimony. But I didn't have one of them everybody shouting type of testimony.
Right.
And I remember going through cancer and coming out of it, and you know, your faith is tested. I mean, I really had to really stretch my faith and pray harder than ever before, and believe that God could bring me out better, bigger and better than ever before. And I remember hearing, you know, just the Lord say to me coming out of it, now you got a testimony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You had to go through some ugly stuff, but you're going to shine brighter because you didn't stop going through. You grew through it.
Exactly. And it shows, brother. It shows, and you keep achieving and keep going. So you know, I asked you whether you were a Fresh Prince or Martin, you know, fan. And you know, being from Detroit, you know, Martin was filmed in Detroit, you know, in Michigan.
Yeah, man.
And you know, I know you said that Fresh Prince is your thing, but I got to give it back to your grassroots. So, you know, we're gonna take a little detour, and I'm gonna ask you some Martin trivia questions. And the funny thing is, I got little Martin trivia. You see what I'm saying?
What? They got that?
Bro, 1 through 5, season 1 through 5.
I've never heard that, man. I gotta look that up.
You gotta look it up, bro.
You gotta hit me to the game of where
I'll send you the link, man. Like, and it's dope. So I'm gonna ask you some trivia. We're gonna have a little bit of fun here. So this is season 1. So I'm sure you may have seen some type of Martin. So I'm just gonna pick random, you know, and it's multiple choice. So if you don't know it, then you know it's all good. So
with that bruh man question. Just came for a sandwich.
Marty Ma. You know.
Marty Ma.
All right, so I'm gonna give you this one. So what was Pam's last name? All right, I'm gonna give you the multiple choice. Was it Jackson? Was it James? Was it Jameson? Or was it Johnson?
Oh man. Say those names again.
All right, what was Pam's last name? Jackson, James, Jameson, or Johnson?
I'm gonna go with James.
Unfortunately, no. It was Johnson.
Oh.
It was Johnson. It's okay.
Johnson. Oh,
it's Johnson. Man. Pam Johnson. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this episode was Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with Martin. So this was in season 1. Tommy's new girlfriend, Shannon, has an ex-lover who won't let her go. What is the name of her ex-lover who was played by Bushwick Bill? Was it Trey, Ice-T, Mad Dog No Good, or Trey Trey?
Trey.
It was Trey. It was Trey.
Man.
All right.
I'm 0 for 2 right now, man.
0 for 2. Okay. What floor did bro man live on?
You gotta give me some.
All right.
Some
did he live on the first floor, the 7th floor, the 5th floor, or the 4th floor?
4th floor.
The fifth floor. He always say, he always put up the 4, but it was always on the fifth floor. He always put up the 4. All right, this is you should be able to get this one, man. And then we got to jump back into it. All right. I'm gonna go to season 2. I'm gonna give you. We should be able to get this. Okay.
What was Martin's girl's name? Gina.
All right, here we go. Bob, this is from season 2. Bob from marketing, white Bob from marketing, said, Gina's out of control. I'm out of control. This whole damn blank is out of control. Is it place? Is it room? Is it party? Or is it shindig? Gina's out of control. I'm out of control. This whole damn blank is out of control. Place, room, or party? Or shindig?
Shindig.
It's party, man. All right. You know what? I'm gonna be fair, Dr. Connor.
Fresh Prince is my thing.
Fresh Prince is your thing. So, Fresh Prince, Will Smith, needs to come out with one of these games, so that way my mans can definitely, shine. But here nor there, man. It's so much I want to ask you, but we'll be here forever. And so I guess one of the things I want to ask you is that if you could tell your younger self, something, because of course, your younger self then didn't know what to deal with. What would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self to prepare for cancer? Say you were the Flash and you was from the future and you were able to, go back. What would you tell your younger self?
Yeah, I would give my younger self a kind of a heads up by telling myself there's going to be a dark period in your life around this certain time, whenever it happened. But out of the gloomy past, you'll be able to stand at last. Just focus on, as James Weldon Johnson says, the God of your weary years and silent tears.
Ooh.
We gonna be all right. There's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
If you can just hold on and hang in there, remember that.
There's always
everything is going to be worth it.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
And so, positive deposits, right? So my nonprofit is our tagline is transform minds to change lives. So through sharing your journey, through changing the mindset of what cancer is, and to be able to, live a righteous life, live a greater life, a better life, and be the blessing for others. If you could drop 3 positive deposits for anyone that's going through cancer, anyone that's just recently diagnosed, a caregiver that doesn't know what to do, what are 3 positive deposits that you would give them?
I think, well, one of them is cancer is spelled the way it is because you have to focus on the can.
Ooh.
What is that?
I like that one. Hey, nobody said that one. Ooh, that's heavy. You have to focus on the can. Ooh.
You got to focus on the can. You can overcome. You can survive. You can think positive. You can give yourself positive deposits by even listening to incredible shows like this.
Yeah.
That will help to raise your level of fight despite the frustration. Ooh. Secondly, I would say, don't lose your mind, maintain it. And mental health is going to be your wealth, because you got to continue to feed yourself when everything else is trying to keep you dying of starvation. You got to feed your faith and starve your doubts mentally. And so being able to read certain information, being able just to listen, faith cometh by hearing, being able to feed your mind is going to be the next place.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I would say stay grounded. Grounded in faith, grounded in fight, grounded in the level of fortitude, even when the fires of life are turned up. Know who your source is.
Yeah.
Know that God is your source. Stand on His word, and just because you may be knocked down doesn't mean you're knocked out. Get back up again. You may cry, but keep fighting. You may be frustrated, but keep fighting. You're gonna have the victory in the end.
Woo! Yo, Dr. Connor, I'm not knocking anyone else that has been on the show. Everyone has dropped some positive deposits, but you know, that and cancer, powerful. Mental health, we got to stay, you know, we have to maintain that, you know, and then just staying grounded with God. You know, you ended it with God. It started with God, it ended with God. And, you know, I think that I can relate to all those things, and the gems that he just dropped for those that are listening is very instrumental on how we can defeat this thing that it continues to kill our community, especially our black and brown community. And we can overcome this, but you have to change your mind so you can make a difference in your life. And so, you know, I want to thank you so much, man, Dr. Connor, for being on the show. It was just a pleasure just talking to you. And you're a part of the Positive Deposits family. So, you know, yes, we will be seeing each other soon again. And however, where can folks, you know, follow you, man, and just see the great work that you're doing in the community, whether in Detroit or just, you know, the Vision Summit? What are your tags? You know, talk to us where we can follow you and see what you're doing.
Without a doubt, brother, I just want to tell you again, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity, the space and place, the safe space to be able to talk about this. I've done a lot of conversations on cancer, and very rarely is it curated by a brother who looks like me. Young brother as well, who's been in the same fight. You definitely can't knock that, because you give it a knockout for sure. So really appreciate you and allowing God to just literally use your voice to give a clarion call to say, hey, you know what, we're in this fight, and let's not forget about people who look like us at a disproportionate rate when we're affected. So thank you so much to your audience, those who are listening, watching even. So please connect with me. The revolution, I'd like to say, will not be televised. It's going to be digitized. So connect with me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Eddie Connor Jr., EDDIE CONNORJR. Connect with me on my website, eddieconnor.com as well. And I've got some books that I know are going to empower you. I've got a new one coming out that's already out, 2020 Vision. And then another one where I'm talking about race relations.
Is that on Amazon? Can we get that on Amazon?
Yes, they're both on Amazon, as well as my website, eddieconnor.com. America I Can't Breathe, Red, White, Blue, Black Lives, and Unmasking Race in America.
Wow. Well, I'm ordering both from them, brother. Actually, how can I get a signed copy? I need a signed copy. If I need to cash app you, you know, I just need a signed copy. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you know, I got you. eddieconnor.com. You know, I got you for sure.
All right, say less. Well, for those that are tuning in, you know, you heard it, you know, from Dr. Eddie Connor. He has 2 books. Please support Black businesses.
Yes.
It's very important that we read and get the knowledge from a brother that has beat stage 4 cancer, just like myself. Please follow us on every streaming platform. We're on iHeartRadio, Apple, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. The website, www.positivedeposits.org, where you'll learn a little bit more about myself and just the work what we're doing. Donate. You know, we can't do it without your support, you know, like platforms like this and this other things that we're doing in the community. And so, you know, with that being said, man, thank you again, Dr. Connor, and thank you all for the listening. So until next time.